All right, this commentary is entitled Cuban Link Needs to Move On. And I was inspired to do this particular video due to the comments I read in my comment section, and plus some of Cuban Link's recent clips that I have seen on my timeline. And I could go through the comments that were in in particular videos I made related to Cuban Link or the Terror Squad and associates. But the overall consensus is that Cuban Link is living in the past. He should just move on. He should just stop talking about Fat Joe. And you know something, for those of you who are saying that, I want you to keep in mind something, and something really to consider. For years, Cuban Link really didn't have an outlet or a voice to express the truth or to voice what happened behind the scenes. So for years, we only heard one side of the story. We didn't hear Cuban Link's side of the story. We didn't hear other people's sides of the story. The only person we heard from was Fat Joe, and Fat Joe was controlling the whole narrative as far as the Terror Squad. But now, in the advent of social media, you have others like a Cuban Link who are able to convey and tell their stories to a person like a Panda Chop or MREC TV. And I believe he even went on DJ Vlad too. Yeah, he went on DJ Vlad. But it's mostly Panda Chop TV that's giving Cuban Link light and a voice as far as this goes. So I don't really get all the talk of, well, Cuban Link needs to move on. And that would be all good and all, but Cuban Link has been blackballed by Fat Joe. We have to keep in mind that Fat Joe has the radios on lock, the radio stations on lock. He has the major interview platforms on lock. You see that Math Hoffer or Drink Champs ain't giving Cuban Link any shine. I mean, big ups to Panda Chop. I mean, and MREC TV. Those are the only two people that are really giving him shine and whatnot. So I don't really get people saying, well, P shouldn't tell his story. And I'm like, who are you to dictate how a person should approach a problem or a situation that happened to them, especially if it involves damaging one's livelihood or reputation? I'm sure he's going to take that very hard, like he should. So who are you to say, well, Cuban Link should move on? Well, FYI, he has moved on. I've seen several different songs and music videos. So he has moved on in that respect. The only people who haven't moved on are the interviewers, because I noticed that no one really asked Cuban Link about his music. It's all about Fat Joe. It's all about the Terror Squad, and it's all about Big Pun. It's nothing else. No one really talks about his music or anything like that. And Homeboy is a talented writer. I had no idea that he wrote a hook for P. Diddy, although he didn't get paid for it. And he wrote half of Angie Martinez's album. And he also wrote for Fat Joe. I mean, if Cuban Link wanted to, I'm sure he can pursue a career as a songwriter, because once you have those type of skills, those skills never leave you. So he just has to find somebody to write for. But who knows if Fat Joe has that side on lock as well. But see, when somebody's voice has been muffled and they've been bound and gagged for years, and someone comes along and rips off that gag, and now they can talk, they're going to talk. And it doesn't matter how long ago it happened. He's going to say what he has to say, and he's going to treat it like yesterday. So I understand a lot of you are Fat Joe stans, and don't get me wrong, I like Fat Joe's music, but the way he treated some of his people just leaves me scratching my head. So, I mean, Cuban Link, he's entitled to express his opinion, his view, and his disgust for what has happened. But he has moved on. He dropped songs on his channel. He uploads songs daily. And for those of you who claim to be Cuban Link fans, if you truly are, then support. Support with your wallet. If Cuban Link drops an album or drops a single on the streaming platform, on Spotify or Apple, go and cop that. Don't just say, oh, well, he should stop talking about Fat Joe living in the past. And I say, if you're a true supporter, then the next time Cuban Link drops a single or something or an album, go cop that. Make it so he could talk about his current activities, not what happened to him. So it's up to you folks to do your part in this. Cuban Link is doing his. He's doing his as an artist and whatnot. But it's the interviewers that really quite haven't moved on from that. And it's evident by the algorithm that story and that particular account does get the most attention, does get the most shine. So I want you guys to consider that. And we're going to leave things right there. So audience, tell me what you think. Let me know in the comment box. This is Iron Will Media.